there, food lovers, and welcome back to Stuff, the podcast where we talk about cooking our favourite ingredients and talking about ways to be creative and inventive in the kitchen.
It's hosted by, folks, it's hosted by me, George Egg, the snack hacker, and the Martyn Odell, Lagom Chef, over there. It's a show all about making food fun, accessible, and above all, delicious.
Got there in the end.
I did.
So each week we'll be talking about some of ours, our listeners, and our guests' favourite stories.
We got a guest. We got a guest!
Read your line!
I know, I'm not supposed to be reading it. I'm supposed to be doing it, aren't I?
Exactly.
Thank God you haven't got one because it's trouble. Head over, folks, to our socials. Some of you are on YouTube now. Some of you are listening through your earpods. But anyway, follow us at normally we read it out, you see.
Yeah.
And then because of
But
this,
now the pressure's on because this is a visual
guest and we'll be
it's a
watched,
visual
and
piece
so
of
we're
content.
embarrassed.
You have to start thinking about what you're wearing.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, like I saw you think
Martyn's
that when you
done
went, is
his
this
hair.
being filmed? Should have put on a clean t-shirt.
I've worn fresh pants, just in case I should have.
I've got fresh pants on. Just got long pants
Just
on.
get at stuff.
Long johns.
No, but they're just longer pants than normal.
Right.
Normally, I would say they finish about there.
Right.
These ones finish about there today, which feels a little bit weird. I feel like my upper thighs are being kind of,
Plung.
yeah, like that, like being sort of
child at the
told off. Yeah.
Go, Daddy.
So head over to our socials at the Stuffed Podcast and get involved.
Just get involved, yeah.
Involved.
Gosh, we just crack on so we don't have to read any more script.
I think we should.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic guest in the house. Let's just say a massive round of applause to... What do you want to call you?
Oh, Will's fine.
Will Hughes of What Will He Cook?
Well, normally
I'm going to say What Will He Cook because I guess that's probably what you.
Yeah.
What a lot of people are going to go. Oh my God! I didn't know it's called Will Hughes.
Yeah.
Probably.
I tried to rebrand a few years ago as just What Willy. So my TikTok is just What Willy. It was going to be like, what will he do?
Oh.
You know, what will he cook? What will he smell?
What will he like?
You know, I thought actually, this could really broaden my horizons, and I've since just stuck to the cooking really. So
Cooking and a lot of reviewing, I suppose. Lots of
yeah,
holidays.
travel-y stuff. Yeah, for the tax man. But, yeah, holiday is not a word I use.
But the best thing is to say it on
Research
mic. I've been
trip.
saying that a lot as well. All of those meals that we go out for that are for work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have actually got quite bad hay fever, so none of those were were proper winks. But yeah, the research and development I've decided to lean quite heavily into.
It is all completely legitimate, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are going to be, if you're going to be cooking, then you can claim all your ingredients and your eating and your cooker and your everything else.
100%.
Fashion. You're a fashionable man. I suppose you
got
have
a
to
hat.
stay up to fashion.
Yeah, well, I dress myself. I haven't got a stylist, you can probably tell. But yeah.
But you've got a style.
Yeah, well.
There you go.
Hey.
I mean,
I've got trousers on.
you're the hat guy.
I wear hats. I do wear hats. I'm going a bit grey, so I thought I'd wear.
Are you going grey? Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 28.
Right.
Yeah, but I started going grey probably about 26. That's when I was.
Well, I started going bald when I was about 17.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah. All the best people I know are bold, though. To be fair, my best mate Harry's a bold man.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, and my manager, he's got really, really long hair. A guy called Will, but I think he's wearing a wig.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you reckon it's a closet one?
It does look a bit wiggy.
He always wears hats as well.
He does wear hats a lot, and I think that's to keep his wig on.
you don't think the wig's attached to the hats? It's not one of those. The whole thing will come
I've seen him take the hat off, and it's really funny because he's got massive curly hair, but when he does take the hat off, and he's had a hat on for a while, it's obviously like really pressed down. So he's got like this. It's like hat hair, but way worse, and it's got this huge bit, and then it just goes boom like that.
So I think the whole wig thing, I just don't see the attraction because surely there's, if you attract someone or whatever, there's some point where you suddenly go, oh, by the way, and they're going to go.
There was a cracking clip on socials actually yesterday. It was like a guy laying on bed, and the girl goes, "Have you brought protection?" And he just like pulls his hair like that. He's got a Johnny down his head, and then she gives it to him. She's like, "Oh."
Now I'm really.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that guy probably didn't get laid.
Yeah,
did he?
no,
that
didn't
point.
need it in the end.
Yeah.
Should we get to a bit of your story? I want to know how it all started. How did your socials start? When did your cooking
a
start?
tale as old as lockdown.
Is it the same thing?
Well, does it
Lockdown?
not start pre-lockdown because, of course, you were on Junior MasterChef, weren't you?
Of course, yes. I was. Yeah, no. Everyone thinks
research boy over here.
Everyone.
I don't
in
know,
my
I didn't
bio,
research,
I've
just knew
had
that.
for the past 5 years Junior MasterChef champion or runner-up 1997, but I was born in 1996. So it's quite I got into cooking at a very early age. But it's quite funny how
Does it say 1997 on?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but it's amazing. Like I've done interviews with various media outlets, and they'll put it in the thing. They'll be like, "Oh, Junior Master." It's like, yeah, that is a joke. That is a joke.
It's a good one though. How many times has it got in there?
Oh, it's been in. I think it's been in.
Wait a minute. So you weren't on Junior MasterChef?
No. I got George.
I thought. Because
I'm not stupid.
I never clocked the date. I just assumed that you were on Junior MasterChef.
No. I wasn't, and wang. But yeah, no. It's. I think I got that into the Financial Times. I think I've got that into the. I think it was maybe the Telegraph. I did an interview with, but both of them
they were all
didn't even clear it up with me. Or maybe they did, and I just deliberately didn't say anything.
Sliding something in my bio. I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
What should I win?
What year? Tom Daly stunt double.
Yeah, 91.
91.
Yeah.
There we go.
1911.
Yeah. Yeah. No one does any research anymore. But yeah.
How funny.
Yeah, that was
bald.
That's
Because I remember seeing your stuff during lockdown, and I remember you did a job with Beavertown.
Yeah,
and
that was a long time ago. Yeah.
Really long time ago. And I remember you sat on a bench, and I think it was somewhere in Tottenham, and I was like, that's just around the corner from me.
I was actually in Cambridge. I did the whole of lockdown. My girlfriend's family home in Cambridge.
Oh, really?
Because my parents were. Well, my dad's a bit older. He's 75 this year. So when they were saying, "Oh, old people are going to die," I was like, "Well, I might not go home because I'll go to my girlfriend's family and I get on well with them." And then essentially the story that I have, I've struck it down to quite a succinct one now.
Yeah, go on.
Is they were all working still. She was doing her dissertation. I was furloughed because I was a runner at post-production company, and I was beginning to feel like a big fat loser because they were all still working, and I was just there like actually sat in my pants playing video games. And I thought, oh, okay, well, look, I liked cooking. I've always been into cooking, and did cooking after school cooking classes when I was in like primary school with a lovely lady called Mandy Franks, who was the dinner lady at school, and she was really, really nice, and she did this after school cooking class, so I always liked it. And I just thought, okay, well, I'll cook for you in the evenings and I'll film it. And I'd started the Instagram page before lockdown, but I didn't do any videos. And then the day before we went into lockdown, my mate was like, oh, we didn't know we were going into lockdown either, I don't think. It was like, I can't really remember how it happened.
24th of March, wasn't it?
23rd of March, my birthday,
yeah.
Did they tell us the day before we were starting the lockdown then?
I think they hinted at it,
I
didn't
can't
they?
remember exactly how it happened, but my mate was like, oh, let's film. I had this account. I posted pictures of what I'd cooked for my dinner. And then I had the account, which was WhatWillyCook, and I posted a video of me making a bourbon milkshake. So it was Jim Beam, bourbons, vanilla ice cream, milk, and it was fucking disgusting.
Oh, I was just going to say, I bet it worked.
No, it should weigh. I think I got my quantities right. It probably needed a bit of, which I now know because I've been doing this long enough. It probably needed like a little bit of honey or maybe like some maple syrup or something like that. Or some agave, perhaps. But yeah, didn't have any of that. It was gross. Still drank it. Got drunk the night before lockdown. Thought, okay, brilliant. And then went, all right, we're in lockdown. My mate went, all right, I'll drop you in Cambridge then. So he drove up to Cambridge. He drove back to Warwickshire. And then I was there. I think I did 10 days of just doing fuck all, furloughed. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to start cooking and putting it on the internet.
So it was like super, like literally as the lockdown started.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
literally
So
the
didn't
day
have
before
like
lockdown. It was
6
weird.
months of kind of going, I should get on with something, and then
no, the furlough thing, it was genuine. I think if I didn't feel so bad about how lazy I was being, I got really into the Elder Scrolls Online.
What's that?
So Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls, it's like an RPG game with like dragons and shit, and I got really into that, and I was like, it's like that fucking South Park episode where like they get really fat and spotty and they're playing like World of Warcraft, and I was like, oh god, is that going to be me? And then I was like, no, okay, what I'll do is I'll just do that a bit, and then I'll cook in the evening, edit in the day, and I sort of taught myself how to use like Final Cut Pro, and just sweated that for like probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks. and then Ben from Mob Kitchen got in touch and was like, "Oh, quite like what you're doing. Can you make a mob recipe? We'll post that." And that did very well, and I got I think I went up 4,000-5,000 followers or something overnight, and I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting how this happens, and and then that carried on, and lockdown I worked with Mob for a bit, and then I stopped working with Mob, and then by that time I was fairly self-sufficient with a good following.
What were you going to say? Sorry, I trod
Sorry,
on you.
Martin.
I was going to say, it was your style, because I always find it funny when you go all the way back to the beginning. Like, what is your style honed into the comedy part, or was that always like an original?
It was basically when I started doing it, I didn't really think it was meant to be. I'm going to do this because it's something to do and it feels more productive than not doing anything productive. So I was like, okay, my friends will find it funny. So that's why I was doing it. So I just used to do the Brian Butterfield voice, the Peter Serafinovich character.
I messaged him the other day.
I'm going to make some honey soy chicken, and it's going to be amazing. Hoisin crispy owl, fluffy ruffs, and it was completely that was. I was just ripping that off, and then my brother, who he's a bit older than me, he's my half brother, who rarely gives me the really, really good advice. He's quite a naughty man, but the good advice he gave me was, you should probably not just be copying Peter Serafinovich. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll do my own voice, sort of, but I'll do it how I think an advert should work. And then, of course, everything that I've watched growing up has been Matt Berry, Steve Coogan, Matt Holness, Garth Marenghi.
Yeah.
And so this voice, which I feel actually is not completely dissimilar to my current voice now, but it's just slightly
exaggerated,
it's a slightly more accentuated version of
and it is a great voice. Have you, out of interest, done since? Has that led to voiceover work at all? Because I can imagine
I've done
you ought to.
Nothing like properly officially, but I would like to. I think that would be when this all dries up and no one gives a fuck who I am. I think if the voiceover stuff comes in, that would be really nice.
They don't have to see your face.
Yeah, when they can't afford Matt Berry, do you know what I mean? I'll pop in and say hello.
And going back to the video, the visual look of it all, you said about you learned Final Cut Pro, because what I love about your content is all you appearing, it's all very graphic, slightly kind of day-to-day vibes of sort of, over-the-top graphics.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of green screen stuff, and now I'll do that with so I do the funny, weird music stuff with my mate Alex. Yeah. But in my new flat, it's just a bit of a bust to put it up really easily, so I don't really put that as much in the videos. But I did that for ages, and then I used to really like doing word art stuff and have that sort of flying in, and the idea that I'm putting a lot of effort into it for it to look shit. Do you know what I mean? I kind of thought that was really that was fun.
That is funny, yeah.
I always like that, but I've got a bit of a formula now with just sort of bashing them out, and I think also I'm getting really bored of it.
Are you finding that? Do you feel like
I feel like I make and film what I have for lunch, and I edit that in the afternoon, and then I film my dinner, and then I edit that the next day, and then I make and film my lunch, and then that has become the way that I do it, and I feel like it's got to be consistent. So yeah, I mean, it does get a bit because sometimes I just want a sandwich. I will sometimes just film me making a sandwich, and then people will be like, "Oh, put some fucking effort in. Your content's gone to shit," and I'm like. The whole point is that I'm doing my lunch and my dinner, because when I try to do days, I imagine you do this with the studio, because you're far more committed to. I mean, you're a very silly man, and your style of cookery is. I feel we have a lot of similarities, but you're able, with your chefing background, to make something far more impressive. But I feel like I used to do days where I'd film 4 recipes in a day, and I got so sick of cooking. Yeah, and because I'm doing all the editing as well. I don't know. It stopped being fun for a bit.
How long does it take you to edit?
Now it doesn't take too long. I can do raw footage with no voiceover or anything like that to finished product. I reckon I could probably do in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh, wow!
But it's because
mine takes so much.
I'm a 10-minute man.
Yeah, you're super fast.
We edited one down the pub. We filmed one in Borough Market. I was like, "Come on, let's go!" And I was like, Done.
Well, not a cooking video though.
Well, we made something in
We were
Borough
just messing
Market.
around.
Oh,
in Borough
really?
Market with the
Yeah,
Greg.
I just look at the
yeah.
sound bar. So
Was
if I
there
see myself-
voiceover in that as well?
No,
we were
it
talking.
It was.
because we just
Yeah,
go,
there's no extra. We weren't recording voiceover as well. Yeah,
there was no
just-
effort.
That's
involved.
pretty great. Was that on
See,
CapCut?
mine took about an hour.
Really?
But
But
about a day. I mean,
Yours
Sorry.
are great though. Like the sort of, I love your shit because both of you I think have been quite. The way that you two make things has always been quite inspiring. Like, when I saw you do like the beef, when you did the steak bake.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you made it. Was it like a rendang kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, he likes
That's
that
my
one.
favourite
Yeah,
one.
that was
That's the
brilliant.
only one we've watched.
I love. Oh, is it right? Yeah, I was talking to my mate about it this morning. I just I love that, and I think that
Do you
fun cooking?
Does
is fun.
someone film you, or are you?
I just have a stand and
Because that's so. All my first 100 episodes were all being filmed by my son.
Right.
And I think they're better. So now I'm self-filmed because he lives in London and he's
Right.
too busy doing other stuff. So now they're
if
all
you love
self-filmed
him,
and it's really.
let him go.
I had to let him go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
He had to go. And now he's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we still work together on other things.
Yeah.
Have
you
you
know.
done a book with him?
Yeah, I have. He's the chief illustrator and the only illustrator and designer of my cookbook, folks. June the 5th.
June the 5th, mate. Come on.
Pre-order it now, though. It's all about the pre-orders. But
You have creativity flowing through your testicles.
I so do. I am my one of my daughters is a fashion designer. One of them's a cook. So there
Wow.
you go.
Bloody
Very
hell.
nice.
What do your
What is
kids
your
do?
son? What is your
Yeah,
son?
Your
What-
kid's
what's your
well
son's
small.
job?
I've met your son.
What's
He
his
does
job?
nothing.
Does nothing. That was when we first met. Was just literally down the road from my house, and the poor guy.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it is a story you need to tell.
I mean, it's a
so unfortunate.
We did an event. I do sort of like an event in the summer, an event in the winter, charity event. Basically, just a big old party. Lots of people that I like who have restaurants, who have maybe like food trucks and stuff like that. Get like 4 or 5 of them. Get a load of DJs that I know that are just pals. All the money goes to charity. It's a nice day. Everyone has a lot of fun, except the chap that we were at Signature Brew in Walthamstow, and there was a gentleman that was on the door scanning the tickets, and it was the day where there was like 95 mile per hour winds, and he was in this.
Even the Christmas fair got. What's the big Christmas one?
Yeah, Winter Wonderland got cancelled,
I remember
and
that.
we were like, nah, fuck it, we're going on, and we were putting weights down on marquees and stuff. It was actually crazy when I got there, and it was so horrible. I was like, shit, no one's gonna come. At least we've sold the tickets. At least the money's already there. But then we actually ended up selling loads of tickets on the door because people didn't have anything to do and there was this big party going on. So we did like 1,000 people in the end, but this guy was scanning tickets, and at one point the marquee was being weighed down by big barrels, and one of the barrels fell, the marquee went off, and he went to grab it to stop it from flying off, broke his hand, but the guy that was scanning the tickets, he only had one arm. So I think he broke his only hand through his commitment to keeping the party going.
To save my child, it was like a Final Destination moment because I turned up. I was like, Willie, started chatting. My wife was like, yeah, Noah's going to hate this. So she left, and literally like 30 seconds later, that tent went.
Yeah.
So it was about to go.
It about to murder my family.
Literally, it flew genuinely like 7-8 feet in the air. It was up and it was almost away. And I think someone managed to get a hand on it, but it was crazy. Like watching a load of really pissed people be like genuinely blown all over
with fags in their mouth, oyster in one hand.
Oh,
like,
God, smoking a cigarette was a nightmare that day. It was literally wind smoked it for you. Terrible.
Should we move on to the next?
Yes,
So this part of the show, we basically layer questions. It's called Question of the Week. Okay. There's a question we put at the beginning of the show, and then we talk about it a little bit, and then we get the answer at the end. So
Okay. It's a hook.
Okay,
nice. It's a hook for you, the listeners, the viewers.
Fantastic.
So shall I read it out?
Go on then.
With an estimated 600 of them, what is the most common pub name in Britain?
The Red Lion.
You reckon? I was going to say the White Hart.
I was going to say the Crown.
Oh, the Crown's actually a good one. I think
the White Lion actually.
The Red Lion or the White Lion,
Yeah.
I think is. Do you know? You've got the answers.
At the end, we haven't
At the
even
end,
looked.
I think Red
looked at
Lion.
the end.
Okay.
I'm going to say Red Lion.
I'm going to say White Hart.
Right.
What are you going
I'm
to
going to say White Lion.
Queen's-
Just because it's my
Yeah.
local from where I used to be.
Yeah,
What's
nice.
called White Line?
White Line, yeah.
Oh, so two
lions.
Two lions.
Two
I
lines,
think the Red
two
Lion.
whites.
Yeah.
Or should I go
Wait,
with
what
the
did you
bell?
say? The
White Hart.
White Heart. Yeah, there are.
White Hart, White Lion, Red Line. Well, we'll find out.
I think they need
We
to start.
offended someone again.
They need to start branching out with the animals now.
Yeah.
Because since pubs started, we found a lot more of them.
Yeah.
You don't get the green duck-billed
Dragon.
platypus, and to be fair, that's probably because it doesn't have much of a ring to it. But I feel like you do get the green dragon.
What's your favourite pub name? What's your favourite pub?
That's actually my favourite pub, just purely from a. It was the first pub that I had a pint in London. Was the Dog and Duck in Soho.
Oh.
And it's like archetypal Soho pub, like when it's sunny, everyone's out on the street, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And in the winter, everyone's out on the street as well, but it's just
London.
but it's just fucking cold. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Dog and Duck, but I really like. This is such an East London cliche as well, but I really like the Army and Navy in Dalston.
I'm a Spurstow fan. It used to be like right at the bottom of my road.
Well, the Spurstow now is like East London pizza pilgrimage. The fucking Dohan's is like the best pizza in East
It's all
London.
gone a bit top jaw, hasn't it?
Sorry, yeah. Best pizza in London. Best coffee.
Have you done top jaw? You've done
Poshest
yeah.
presenter in London. Okay.
Right, let's move on.
He is, but he loves it.
He loves
it.
Absolutely fine. Good for him.
Look, posh white guys get on telly, all right? Oh, wait, no, they don't. They have to do YouTube instead because you can't get on telly.
Mummy and Daddy will pay for that.
Yeah.
Buy the equipment.
Hey, no,
right.
I won't be mean about Jesse. He's a lovely boy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Right, we're going to do quick fire.
So quick fire. This is a new thing.
Okay.
Well, kind of new thing. This is a guest thing. Before we get into this week's star ingredient, we often like to do a little quick fire round with our guests.
Yeah, and because...
Am I the first guest?
No, we've
you're
got
the
other guests, but...
First
Fifth,
YouTube.
Fourth, fifth.
I'm getting the clock ready. This is I basically said this because you stitched me up with the Deliveroo one, and I felt under so much pressure doing the A to Z of ingredients.
Okay.
I thought I'd let you sweat on that side of the table.
Nice.
this time.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
My line here
Stealing
says...
format points.
So, Will, you've got 60 seconds to name ingredients from A to Z, starting...
Now!
Apple, banana, chocolate, dime bar, egg. Can you do the letters first? A, B, C, D, E. Frog's legs. G. Goldfish. Goldfish crackers.
Yeah, yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. H. Hainanese chicken. H, I. Ink of a squid.
Yeah.
J. Jollof rice. K. Curry, cricket, the brand of curry, the restaurant. K, H-I-J-K. L, lemons, L-M-N. Nuts. O, ostrich egg. P, Percy pigs. H-I-J-L-M-O-P. Q,
Three.
quince.
Two.
Time's up.
Shit.
When did you get to Q? All right. Do we get to have a go as well?
So good.
Well, I've watched so many people do it
I
for
know, that's
the
what I was gonna
Deliveroo
say.
one.
You went M, nuts.
Oh shit! M. No.
I'll skip. George, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
And I can't repeat either, can I?
Come on, your time's going.
Avocado. Baked potato.
C.
Cumin.
D.
Don't help in there.
Daikon.
I actually think you should help.
Daikon.
Oh.
Daikon. E.
Endive.
F.
Fish.
G.
Grape.
H.
Ham on toast.
I.
Ice cream.
J.
Jam.
K.
Knickerbocker Glory.
That's good.
L.
I mean, I was thinking that when you got to K, I said
Stop bumbling, mate. You can finish
lamb.
it.
M.
Nuts. Muscle.
N.
N's a tricky one, isn't it?
No, you just said it.
What? Nuts? No. What?
O.
Oh.
You can have nuts.
Can I have nuts?
Yeah.
O. Orange.
P.
Pork.
Q.
Quince.
No, you said It's really hard.
It
is really hard.
Are
I
there
think
any
the
other
hardest thing
cues?
is trying to remember the letters in the order. I kept on having to go back and do the fucking alphabet.
And also,
I'm sweating
you
just
know,
thinking about
I mean,
it.
it's going to be harder for you now. Are you going to have a go?
Nah, I'm all right.
Oh,
mate.
come
Oh,
on.
go on then. Ready?
You've got
3.
to.
He's done it
Two.
before. He was crap.
Yeah, but he can't do either of the things we did. 3, 2, 1.
How am I going to remember that?
A.
We'll remember. Go.
A. Apple.
B.
No, he
banana.
did apple.
C.
No, you
I
did
said
what he
cream.
did.
D.
Okay.
Dairy milk.
E.
Eggplant.
F.
Fries.
Yeah.
G.
Wheatgrass. Grass. Grapes.
H.
Haribo.
I. Indonesian
Ice.
food.
Ice.
J.
Jelly.
K.
King crab.
L. Ooh.
Lemon.
M.
Milk.
N.
Nuts. Nougat.
O.
Yes.
O. Ostrich.
P.
Potato.
Q.
Quince.
R.
Rabbit.
S.
Smell. Snake.
T.
Slime. T. Toblerone.
U.
Umbrella.
V.
Well, you're pointing at it.
You.
You
nearly
You can't do it. You fucked
okay,
it.
fuck.
It's gone. You ruined it.
You. What is you?
And we can't all have points, can we? Ugly fruit.
Is that a thing?
Ugly fruit, yeah. Umbongo.
Umbongo.
Way down deep in the middle of the Congo.
Yeah.
This part of the show, we talk about the star ingredient or the dish.
Okay.
So, we have a little chat about things we brought in.
It's star ingredient.
What is it?
It's peanut butter, isn't it?
I think it is.
Peanut butter.
It's peanut butter. You use peanut butter?
I do.
I've seen you
I
use
love
peanut butter.
and I think now's a good opportunity to just shout out a brand that I think make the best peanut. Have you ever tried Manny Life peanut butter?
No.
No, but I've heard.
It's the best
I've
peanut
heard
butter.
it's really good. I haven't
It's
tried
so
it.
good. There's
What's so good about it?
It's like it's got that tahini consistency with nuts in, and I think that's a really nice thing.
What's that
for
sort
peanut
of
butter.
pourable almost?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but like still claggy in the way that peanut butter
yeah.
needs to be, and I think that there's a spectrum of peanut butter because there's like the American shit, which is like
Sunpat.
yeah, Sunpat Jif,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like it's almost like it's like so thick and viscous.
Yes.
and it's good. It's tasty.
Oh, it's got its place.
Peanut
Skippy
butter's
is
all
my
Skippy,
go-to
yeah.
for that-
Peanut
for that.
butter's always tasty. I think there's not
Yeah.
really such thing as a bad peanut butter. You get all these ones that try and do all organic, like what's the one that's got like the picture of the trees on it? You know the one I mean.
Oh, yeah, with the green.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not. It doesn't hit the same way as the Manny Life one because they've got like a deep roast one. They're not paying me to say this, by the way.
Is that the one that's like dark, almost like chocolate?
Yeah.
Because that's the one I did put in the smoker the other week.
deep roast? They do deep roast, crunchy, deep roast, smooth. They do like a chocolate one. Like it's just great. They do a salted caramel peanut butter. It's like my girlfriend's got this thing that she does. She hasn't done it for a while actually. This is reminding me. I'm going to need to sort of put a word.
Handstands before the shower.
Put a word in exactly that. It's like ice cream with like a chocolate bar, miscellaneous chocolate bar, and a tablespoon of peanut butter all mixed together, and that's dessert.
Like a sort of Sunday improvised.
It's sort of like
instant sundae.
oh, this is very snack hacky actually. It's kind of like homemade McFlurry.
Right, yeah.
So it's got like she'll do it with mini eggs sometimes, but if it's vanilla ice cream, the peanut butter then adds that like savoury edge.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, because we used to do like frozen bananas and peanut butter wazzed up is just like the nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I think peanut butter is one of those great ingredients that, great kind of, things you'd have on toast. That is also a brilliant ingredient.
Ham on toast.
And also a brilliant ham on toast.
Yeah.
You don't know about ham on toast.
No, I don't, but
we'll
I
talk
like
about ham on toast in
I
a minute.
still think it's funny. I don't know why. It is funny.
We had to do
Well, we
30
did-
seconds, things on toast. And I was like,
things
egg,
on toast.
poached egg.
He said ham, and then I said ham on toast.
Yeah.
Well,
because I smoked the peanut butter. I've been smoking things at the studio. And I wanted to make
Crackhead.
like well, when you're alone, you know what it's like, filming content on your own.
no, but just to interject, a really
on,
interesting
you.
thing when he was talking about doing the smoking videos and they weren't getting the traction, and
No.
you realise it's probably because you're saying the word smoking, and then
AI picked it up already.
it's going, oh
They
no,
went, he's
you know.
promoting
Yeah, yeah.
smoking to
Yeah,
kids.
that's
yeah.
probably exactly what it is. You've got to try it saying you're vaping it.
Yeah, exactly.
Much better for children.
Vaped
Cherry vape,
eggs.
yeah,
Yeah.
disposable cherry vaped.
Vaped eggs. Fried egg flavoured vape. Yeah, nice. Excuse me, mate, do you want to try my new vape? What flavour is it? Spam.
Spam, yeah.
Have you
Yum,
tried the
Full
fried
English.
egg flavoured crisps?
Yeah, I love them. I
Unbelievable.
don't know how they've managed to make
They literally taste exactly like fried eggs.
the
don't they?
crispy bit of a fried egg, the best bit.
Yeah, no,
I
phenomenal.
love them. I think those guys over at, was it Torres?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're clever. I mean, that's why they charge £6 a fucking bag of crisps.
insane.
Yeah.
I got
R&D, baby.
a Torres bag crisps for my birthday. One of my presents, one of my foodie presents, and my daughter-in-law did a little. She left the sticker on and did a little arrow to the price. and said, "You bet."
Yeah. This can be a present because it's expensive.
Talking about weird things, I had some jelly babies the other week. I was over at a kid's house and they gave me well, not a kid, but a friend's kids, and they had a minty one, and it took me back. I went to Milwaukee once, and I had sick flavour jelly baby, pencil shavings, and wet wipes.
I bet you pencil shavings is actually a really distinct, because there is that kind of school chewing the end of the pencil.
It's like a Bertie Bott's every flavoured bean.
Yes, no, you go to the jelly bean factory in Milwaukee and they have all these different flavours. They had a Harry Potter section where they had all these. But they had this one that was just weird, and it was just nappy flavour.
Pencil shavings.
I don't think I want that.
So I always think I don't like pomegranate seeds, because I always think that the flavour's nice, but the middle just tastes like pencil shavings.
Yeah,
or the texture of.
I don't like the texture of them.
Yeah. The little bit in the middle just feels like a little bit of wood.
I love a bougie pop. What are we talking about? Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
George, call back to the chaos George caused on socials with peanut butter in the beans comment.
Yeah. So we were talking about.
Oh, it's a note.
So we have a bit about Britain's favourites, where we talk about things you can do to, like baked potato or whatever. And it was baked beans on toast. And I said I like to put peanut butter, then the peanut butter, then the beans, then hot sauce, coriander, and a squeeze of lime, and you get.
Is that with butter as well?
Yeah, probably.
Because I think that's the thing with peanut butter, isn't it? It's always better with butter.
Oh yeah.
Before, but actually, when you're having it, you're a bit like, it's basically butter. I shouldn't have the butter because that's too much butter. But
can you do that in your Butterfield accent for Man Love, so they can cut it and use it for peanut butter is better with butter?
Peanut butter. No, what is butter? Call now. Peanut butter is better with butter. The peanut butter. The Butterfield peanut butter. Boast.
Is that bit at the end where it goes www.
Call now. Full stop. COM. Call now. Sorry, you were saying.
But yes, so we put
satay
it out,
beans.
We put it out, and it's delicious. But we put it out on social media, and of course there was we got a lot of views, and a lot of people going,
People were saying, deport him, arrest him, tie him up.
Very, very excited.
It's like weird. It's like, just because you've got a palate of a 1-year-old doesn't mean that George's creation
people get
is delicious.
People get quite touchy, don't they? About.
Well, it's like your one with Vice.
Messing with
the one you did recently.
What was that?
Bad.
Just made
to be honest, I think that was more an American situation. I think the Americans thought I'm quite a sarcastic young man, and I think that maybe they thought that I was being arrogant, which I wasn't trying to be. And
what did you do?
I did a video for Munchies Vice thing, which obviously when I was like 16 was the coolest thing that anyone could do. So when I asked to do it, I was like, obviously I'm going to do that, but at the same time, like, if this goes badly, I'll be really upset. And then I did it. I made a steak sandwich, no fanning about it. It wasn't me. I'm not a professional chef. I just make shit that I like eating. That's what I've always done. And I did that. I made a steak sandwich. My favourite steak sandwich, my go-to all the time, caramelised red onions, some sort of blue cheese, some sort of mustardy mayonnaise, bit of rocket for a laugh, and then your steak. I did buy a shit steak because it was all it was like really last minute, and I had to order it off one of those delivered to your door things, and it wasn't a very good one. But that being said, it was a solid, tasty steak sandwich, and all these fucking American—I was about to call them fucking Yanks, but I know it's not like actually a slur, but it's almost. I was going to say it in a way that it was, but these fucking Americans were oh my God, who the hell is this guy? Top tip Vice, don't get this guy again. And I'm there like,
what was their complaint? The extras
they
you put in there?
They didn't like me. They didn't like my presenting style.
It's the British accent though. As soon as Americans hear it, they're going, I switched off after 2 seconds.
Yeah, they didn't like. I don't know. I mean, I assume that most of the viewers for Munchies are American, because obviously you've got like Action Bronson and Matty Matheson and all the people that they've had on Munchies, they're fairly North American based. But then there was this one guy who was like, he said something like, oh no, I'm British and I still think he's a cunt. And I was like, great, fantastic. But yeah,
they'll go on your gravestone.
Yeah, I'll pop that on the
I
gravestone.
might stick that in your bio.
Yeah, probably could. Yeah, bad at Vice Munchies, MasterChef 1996 or whatever it was. But yeah, that was a bit of a shitter. That went out, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I watched it and I was
That's
just
a
like,
shame.
it was you, and that was the thing that's so stupid. Is like you put something out, it's
Yeah.
you. You haven't changed, you haven't done anything different, and then a different audience sees it, and it just.
I don't have to go to America. I like New York, but I don't need to go to America. I'm not. If I can't crack America, fuck me. The Small Faces couldn't do it, and they were they were a great band. So whatever.
I think what you have to do because we were kind of going, oh, this is ridiculous, the amount of negativity we were getting from the baked bean thing. But then you've got to look at the number of people who view it, and then do your little maths by the number of people who commented negatively. And you go, oh, actually, it's less than 0.1%.
Yeah. Also, people are so much. I'm not me or you because we're normal, but people are so much more likely to comment on something when they don't like it, and I think it comes from that. Like, we're far more likely to have a very, very heated debate and like a big conversation like at the pub when you're talking about something that you fucking hate.
Yeah.
Because that is just, you can be more passionate. I think it's more common to be more passionate about something that you really don't like and having a mutual dislike of something rather than getting really excited about something you love, which is fucking depressing. But I do think that.
Well, I think if you look at like most stand-up comedy, it's there's very few stand-up comedians going,
oh, I love this.
Really
this
great.
is funny.
It's more
it's
like,
like,
annoys me about this.
Yeah, bleeding the radiator. I
saw a great cartoon talking about like just like kind of negative comments and how they have an effect on you, and it was like a Princess and the Pea style bed with this guy lying on top, and it was just mattresses, like a dozen mattresses that all said positive comments, and then there was this tiny bit that said slightly negative comment, and the guy's lying in bed going like can't get comfortable.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it's a thing. The internet's a horrible place, and there are a bunch of stupid people that just like to spout negativity, which is stupid. And I feel like if I see something that I like, I always make a point of being like, I like this, and sometimes I'll just leave that as the comment because. I feel like you need to do that.
Yeah,
people. That's how people should respond. People should be more vocal in their,
just saying it's
in
great
their adoration of their friends and and things that are interesting and whatever. Because I think that would breed a slightly nicer society. But also, this is such wishful thinking, and it's not going to happen.
No, because I almost left a horrible comment on Jay Rayner's profile this morning when I was on the toilet.
Oh, what was he doing?
Well, he did this thing about boiled eggs, and someone.
Was this on the Russell Howard?
Yeah, and he said, "Oh no, the best way to do a boiled egg is to put it in a pan of cold water, 2.5 minutes. You take it out, you eat that one, and then 45 seconds later, you eat the next one." And I was just like, "Yeah, I did this on my camping trip on my camping stove with my son," and I wrote this long, stupid story, and I was sitting there. I shouldn't do this. And I was like, kept adding to it, and I was like, oh no, I don't know. I just
he certainly won't have you on the panel of the kitchen cabinet if you post that.
If you went on there once,
I've done it 3.
Have you done it thrice?
Maybe twice. Thrice. I've done it thrice.
Excellent. How is it?
It's fun. Have you? It's surely right up your street.
I did an audition for it.
Right.
You got to get
years
your food
ago.
out.
Got to get my foot right.
I
did an audition for it, and
it's fun. It's fun. It's fun
yeah,
to
it never
do.
happened.
He's a man who obviously people are quite fearful of in the food industry.
Yeah,
more restaurateurs, I suppose. But actually, I find him to be a big cuddly bear. A nice man,
I won't mention, but you have a chat off microphone. Get your food out, come on.
Because you got food as well.
Yeah, hang on.
So we've all got.
Before I get my food out, though, can I just say I wanted to talk about my favourite use of peanut butter that I didn't make because I didn't know if you'd have a toaster. But when I worked in an office as a runner, I was in charge of ordering all of the things for people to have to snack on every week. So I'd do on a Friday, I'd make sure the Sainsbury's order was in to turn up first thing on a Monday. And I would always order sesame New York bagels, Bovril, Lurpak, and peanut butter. And I would make the satay Bovril bagel. And that would be toasted sesame bagel, butter, Lurpak, whatever.
Yeah.
Then Bovril, then crunchy peanut butter, and genuinely unbelievable breakfasting.
Oh, phenomenal.
Really, really, really good.
Well, I am famously on this podcast a Bovril apologist.
It's Bovril for me is. I remember being stoned the first time I ever had it. I was very, very high and very, very hungry. And I went to my room. We used to have to. We were in halls in the first year of uni, and we used to have to go walk to the park. but like it was like Woollerton Hall in Nottingham.
Yeah.
And it was like there was deer and stuff. It was sick. There was like this massive tree. It was the best place to smoke weed. And we did that. And I come back and I went up to my room to get my snacks, and I realised I hadn't bought any snacks. And I went downstairs to the shared kitchen bit, and my friend Big George was making toast with Lurpak. No, it won't have been Lurpak because that's expensive and we were students. It was toast with
Probably
some shit.
Dane pack.
Dan pack, yeah, exactly. And Bovril. And I was like, what's this mysterious black fluid that you're spreading on your toast? And he just didn't say anything, and he just went, try that. And I just remember it was like, everything's so heightened when you're a bit stoned as well. And the saltiness of it and the butter with the crunch, I was just like, oh, fuck! It literally was just, it's the best. I love it. I don't drink it. It's the working man's miso soup.
Yeah, I use it as an ingredient or literally, on toast.
Yeah.
So did you bring one with you?
No, I didn't. Fuck no, because I thought actually if you didn't have a toaster, it wouldn't be very good.
George always does this.
But
He
I
tells
did
me about this
bring-
amazing thing, and then I'm like, "Did you bring it with you?" And he's like, "No."
Are you ready?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yes, please.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich, as they call it in America, wrapped up.
PB&J.
What kind of
up-
American food is this shit?
Exactly. Fuck this. Wrapped up in cling film as it should be. I genuinely think that this is possibly the best thing America have ever done.
I like it when it's a fridge cold one. My mum used to make these, and I'd get them in my packed lunch, and they'll still be cold. And
Yeah. Well, I did. I had it in a Sainsbury's bag in the bloody in the front of a Lime bike, and I just thought.
But like you were saying, it wants that kind of sweaty packed lunch
Yeah,
vibe from it being wrapped up.
because
There's the nostalgia.
It makes it better, and I just think.
Should we get board and knife?
It's the perfect.
Just a knife.
It's the perfect sweet and savoury thing. You can have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's peanut butter and jam, okay?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not peanut butter and jelly.
Jello.
Fuck
Not
off.
jelly, folks.
It's peanut butter and jam, but shite white bread, essential, as it is with most things.
Yeah.
Fish finger sandwich, shite white bread, cheese and ham toasty, shite white bread, or a bikini, as they call it in Spain. But it has to be shite white bread.
bikini?
That's what they call it when you have a cheese and ham toasty in Spain.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was quite a nice. I think it's
Yeah.
because it's a triangle, like a little
Oh, I see.
Mankini.
in the crotch. Yeah, but anyway,
Knickers.
go on. I'll let you do it.
I did my son's packed lunch.
yeah, but,
squares this morning.
Yeah, and I also I do like it with raspberry jam because I like having the extra bits. It has to be crunchy peanut butter
you
as
sound
well.
like keen on the seeds in raspberry jam for the same reason as the pomegranate seeds.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I can
more a
see
strawberry guy,
why
but-
you'd have that, but this is that Manny Life peanut butter, which is very good. It's the deep roast crunch, and it's Bon Maman strawberry. Is it Bon Maman the name of it? Strawberry jam.
Yep.
Yeah. Best strawberry jam. Best peanut butter.
No,
Shit bread.
It's just so yeah.
It's great.
It's
like
lovely.
that.
Now deep fry it. You got yourself a pudding.
Have you deep fried one?
No, but I want to now.
In Soho, there was a
Definitely.
place called Spontino's that is closed now, and they used to do peanut butter ice cream in a shape of a triangle sandwich with like strawberry compote on it, and it was unreal.
Yeah. Delicious. You can't beat it.
How would you eat your? How you do? So you've gone. You see what I? No, I.
That's like sandwich complex.
You see, I will eat around. I'll eat the crust first. Get that out of the way. Throw it around. Then I've got the little.
That's the best bit, isn't it, really?
Cool. So get that done. Yeah.
It's so. Have you got another one of those waters? I'll plug it on the top.
Gin.
Bit early. Actually, it's not. It's 1:15.
Exactly.
Thank you,
There
sir.
you go.
George, what have you brought in?
So I brought in peanut butter stuff as well. I have done I've done a peanut butter snack hack. So I've got in here.
Is that a Big Mum samosa?
No, it's not.
We thought it was a baby chicken.
Yeah, it looks like I was going to say it's like a turtle. Like we're going
Fucking
to eat a live turtle.
Yeah.
First time. So this is a pucker minced beef and onion pie. And what I did is I cut the top off.
Is that how they come out like?
Have you done a Massaman?
What's a massaman?
Like a
What does he do?
Massaman curry?
Our favourite
Oh, I
video.
see. Well, no, similar-ish because you've said about it, but it's not completely the same. So
me a
what I've done
picture of
is so I cut the top off. I added to it some blobs of peanut butter, some hot sauce, some extra butter, and I put a spice in. I can't remember. And then I egg washed the top and put some cumin seeds. So that is a hacked minced beef and onion pie to make it slightly kind of satay-ish.
Is it?
It's still warm.
That's because I baked it first thing this morning and then I gave it a little blast in the microwave just so that it was hot. Isn't it hard cutting things into three?
It is a bit. Actually.
It really is though.
Fours.
Once
Then we just have
after
that awkward
school,
bit that no one's going to eat. And we're all looking at it.
once after school, me and my kids, we went to Subway and we thought let's get a Subway and
It's got a bit of a soggy
we'll get
bottom,
them to cut it. Well, this is surprising that it's even warm. Let's eat this first, then I'll tell you about the thing. What? What'd you say?
This is great.
That works, isn't it?
It is, but it is like that sort of peanut buttery,
sort of curry, peanutty.
Yeah.
That tastes.
Well,
It tastes
to it.
It tastes like a curry pie, doesn't it?
yeah.
Because the mince is always finding these pies like quite sweet. And then peanut butter, the saltiness, and it's got a bit of heat to it.
That works, isn't it? I did another thing. I did something else as well.
You've done two things.
Oh bloody hell!
It's really showing off now. Better be a dessert.
It is a dessert,
Thank
but
God
do you
for
know
that.
what? It's horrible.
Right.
Oh good.
I was the one that...
But what?
Was this what you said you didn't bring in, but you did bring in?
No. This isn't. But it looks like
Peanut butter poo.
peanut butter poo. Yeah, I did a poo this morning. It's a peanut butter mousse.
Okay.
But the consistency is wrong, and it was going to be a chocolate and peanut butter mousse, but then I did that thing where
That would have been lovely.
well, it would have been great, wouldn't it? It's too sweet. It's way too sweet, I think,
That's all right, mate. Pair it with something.
and it's also collapsed.
You're such a diva. Look
Actually,
at
it's
you.
not too bad, is it?
It's too sweet. And it's collapsed.
Actually, it's nicer now
That's
than.
fucking lovely.
No, it is actually good. Actually, I'm pleased with that, but it is a bit too floppy. But no, so I was going to
Still
do
stick it in your gob, though.
the chocolate.
Hang on a minute. I've just had a thought.
Oh yes,
Does this count as snack hacking?
yeah. Everything counts as snack. It's nicer than I was expecting. I think because I was so I melted a load of dark chocolate and then I beat the egg yolks into it, and I just did that thing of getting the temperatures wrong, so it went into a big kind of like blue tack with oil around it, and then I was trying to add cream and beating that, and it just wasn't going anywhere, and it was only dark chocolate I had.
That's
so
lovely.
Why is it fizzing?
I think it's just because it's been in a warm studio for like all afternoon.
Oh, God.
But
It's very nice. Do you want to try a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna
I've still
dunk
got
it in
the
like
best bit
like
of
a
this.
soldier and
Oh,
dippy
you've saved it.
Oh, look, it's all liquid
you
at
can
the
have
bottom.
some if you want. Yeah, it's egg white.
It's
Whatever.
a little. There's a
Want a bit
little.
of
No, I
a
can
bit in the
possibly
middle?
take the best
Right
bit.
near the middle.
It's a little bit like Angel Delighty.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, funnily enough, in next week's episode, I've got a little thing about Angel Delight.
you love Angel Delight, don't you? Didn't you do an Angel Delight butterscotch thing? It was,
I did one with Harry Hill, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't. I listened to it this morning. I can't
Oh,
remember
what
what it was.
the what?
That when you spoke about it in the last
I'm just going
episode,
to finish that.
To,
That's fucking delicious.
where you
Oh, no.
used crunchy or
shit.
Oh,
called it? You called it like-
yeah, crunchy and popcorn
Yeah.
and
You called it something like the Middle East.
Kent cheesecake.
Middle East.
Gosh, don't say that quickly.
Yeah, cut that bit.
That's lovely. I recently was on my travels in New Zealand.
Oh.
I wanted to go back to the pie. They're obsessed with pies to the point where, like, every single gas station does like pie. Sorry, that was a bit American, actually, wasn't it?
Every single
No wonder they
gas-
hate you.
Do they call it gas in
I
New
think they
Zealand
do
as
call
well,
it
though?
gas station, yeah. But every single BP garage or whatever has a selection of pies, like they do in the UK at the Wild Bean Cafe or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're actually really good everywhere. It's really hard to get a bad pie there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they eat pies in the same way that we might eat like a sausage roll. Like they don't consider it like a full meal. It's like
just like a
it's a snack. It's literally, but they do such cool stuff with it. I had there was a place in Auckland where they did like a beef rendang pie or something like that, but they used roti as the pie case. And then like we went a bit further down south, and they had like there was this one that did like pork belly and apple in a pie with crackling on top.
Oh wow!
It was all so good. You would have fucking loved it though,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like doing as much as you can possibly do with just this little space that could be a pie. It was
Well, I think
fucking
the
great.
thing with that is you could just cook a pucker pie and have those other ingredients next to it, and you get the same flavour. But there's something about
it's way
cutting it
better.
open, putting it
It's
inside.
way
turning
better
and then
cutting
you
it
just-
open and putting it in.
What's
Yeah,
the other
definitely.
one? The pie in the tin.
Oh, like the Fray Bentos tin
Fray
pie.
Bentos.
Yeah, with the weird wet pastry that
He
then
kept
puffs
saying
up
it to
in
me
his
the other
fries.
week. And I was like,
My dad will do a Fray Bentos every now and again. He quite likes it, but he does the puddings, not the pudding. It's
Steak
like
and- I know what you mean. Yes,
steak and kidney.
which do you like it? Because because at least with the tin pie you get crispy top.
yeah.
But yeah, the
with
pudding
the
one is just
puddings, it's just
floppy.
don't want a soggy bottom.
wet and
Well,
crap.
I was researching Mancunian food the other day, and there's a thing called rag pudding. Have you heard of that?
No, what's
and
that?
it's like a steamed. It's kind of like the same sort of thing as steamed pudding, but it's like a suet pastry, and then it's filled with a sort of steak stew,
Right.
And then it's all folded up and then steamed in a cloth, hence called rag. And it just looks so unappetizing. It's like sort of pale yellowy grey. Looks like swimming trunks, like wet swimming trunks folded up. And then you cut inside and it's like they're full of S.
Yeah, maybe not that.
Yummy.
This is great. I like eating and
Yeah.
talking shit.
It's
now
all
you've
about,
managed to
mate.
do it
So
as
good.
a podcast.
We've got the egg white at the
Well, I
bottom.
might have a little bit more.
Go on, get in there,
Oh,
mate.
Oh, no,
you want the
yeah.
top bit.
Yeah, no, I might. Oh, actually, no, I'll fuck that off entirely.
That's day
I
6
think,
at a festival,
Yeah,
that.
no. Oh, great.
So now we're going to move on to Britain's favors.
And the way we're going to move on to Britain's favors is we've got to go. So because you are famous for using silly words for things.
Yeah.
Let's face it, smoky pat pat, etc.
Calling yourself Willy.
Famous is a nice word to describe us, but yeah.
All right, so I'm going to read this out in your style, in a
Right.
way, and you've got to
Decipher
You've got to work out what the
Okay.
recipe is. So here we go. I'm going to try and do your voice. I can't do your voice at all, but we'll try. Take the minced remains of an infant sheepy, fried up with finely portioned onions, Jasper carrots, woody herbage, Lord Leek of Gar, Worcestershire seepage, grain powder, and the purest ray of tomatoes. Add meaty Stockard Channing, miniature green spheres if you like them, and let that bubble low and slow for a good hour. While that's transforming into a tasty jollop, peel and boil some apples of the earth until collapsing, the veg, not you, and squash them with butter until creamy misses. Pop one on top of the other, send it back to the hot place, and wait another 30 minutes until the surface is crispy. Then pop your crook in the corner and tuck in.
Fuck me, I'm annoyed. Jesus Christ. No offence, George, but you might have over-egged it there. Was it shepherd's pie?
Yes, it was shepherd's pie.
Oh! You've recalled one recently.
No, I don't. I hate shepherd's pie.
Oh.
Shepherd's pie and cottage pie are two of the only things that I just can't get behind because
Is that kind of nostalgia thing of school
pie
dinners?
needs to be pastry. I don't think that pie can be used to describe something that is.
I'm with you on that. I think it's a fine dish, but yeah, don't call it
Yeah,
a
I
pie.
did a song about it with Alex.
Did you?
Do you not see? It was like, well, we've actually done two. We did the first one we ever did was called Shepherd's Pie is Shit. And it just goes, Shepherd's Pie is shit. I'm really ruddy bloody done with it. And then the latest one that we did was That's Not Pie, but in the style of the Pet Shop Boys. Have you not? Did you not hear it? It goes, that's not pie. Da-dum, da-dum. It's like sometimes they offer you a pie, but there's no pastry. Oh, how they lie. It needs the crust. That's something important. I can't remember how.
Oh, that's great. Oh, well, look.
Yeah,
listeners,
I'm
find that. Seek
put it
that out,
this way.
listeners.
I'm fucking passionate about pie. All right. There's no northern in me, but if there were, yeah,
His name would be Gary.
But yeah, shepherd's pie because his name would be Gary. Shepherd's pie. You gave it away when you said like baby sheep.
Baby sheep.
The minced remains
Who
of a
wrote
baby
these?
sheep.
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Okay, number 2. Here we go.
Is it me?
Yeah, you got to read that. Good luck.
Right, I've got to get into character. Proto Brofano veg.
And this is like phonetic, so it's.
Beat the hell out of the egg flob. The boogie stuff that looks weird but turns nice. Before folding it in the shoog. Let the nice bit of the egg make friends with the horse's disguise before combining it two in a floppy embrace. Next, dunk your fingers in some strong brown caffeine piss before assembling them tiddly dish. Cover with the creamy jizz, dunk the rest of your fingers and repeat the process with the jizz before finishing with a shower of chalky dust. Bell E. C. Mo.
Tiramisu.
That sounded like fucking Brian Redondi.
But it wasn't Brian Redondi, yes.
Nicely read, Martin. I thought, because I wrote that for me to read out, and I thought that's good,
It's so nervous. I was really
You did that
sweating.
beautifully.
Thanks, mate.
You did better than I did the shepherd's pie. Well done, you got them both.
We're going to move on to listeners' questions and stories. So this is the part of the show where we've had our listeners, the people who listen to the show, sent in a question or a story, and then we read them out and see if we can have a laugh or answer the question.
Yeah, and we also incorporate into this what we call the wine list, spelled WHINE.
Nice, love that.
Where people send in their irks and their complaints, and then we either add them to the list there. We've got things like over-attentive, over-familiar waiting staff.
The low lights.
Gravy. What's that? Gravy roast. What was that one?
Oh, gravy roast.
Oh, that's a fucking big one, actually.
Yeah.
When you go for a roast and they don't give you enough gravy. But actually, I've noticed that most places that do that will just give you more gravy if you ask for it.
I think most of it is communication issues.
Yeah, I think that's people being a bit shy.
Being all British.
Oh, I couldn't possibly ask. Oh, surely they meant for me to have this thimble full of gravy.
Because what was it, Mia, when she was it last time? She was like, I hate it when you want to have a dessert and then no one else wants to have a dessert. I was like, just tell them you're going to have a dessert and have it. And she was
I
like,
want one.
Yeah, I want one.
Well, I want one now.
That one. Right, here we go. Do you want to read it? Shall I read it?
I'll go for the first one. Sammy says, this isn't a wine, this is a story or a question. I'm planning to go on a long weekend trip somewhere in Europe soon, and I'd really like to go somewhere with endless amounts of delicious food. Where are your top places to go in Europe for good grub?
I think you know exactly what I'm going to say.
Let's ask you.
1, 2, 3. San Sebastian.
Oh, that's where all the little pinchos, is that right? And all the little tapas.
Well, yeah, I think that
sorry, pinchos is Portugal, isn't it?
No, it is. It's pinchos.
Oh, it is,
Portugal.
sorry.
I think there is a name that they have for like the tapas style, but I don't know I don't know what it is. San Sebastian, obviously, everyone knows it's the tits. It's a bit of a twat to get to. Like I went there for a job, luckily, a couple of years ago. And I said, oh, I'm really actually not. I used to be quite scared of flying, so they sent us via Madrid on 2 planes, which is a bit annoying. But I think you can get there. Actually, you can fly like direct to Biarritz and whatever. But San Sebastian, it's so good.
Where is it geographically?
It's northern Spain,
on the coast. Or?
Northern Spain. It's like Basque Country,
right?
So it's like where the French bit meets the Spanish bit, sort of.
The border.
Yeah, the border. That's the border.
The Pyrenees.
Yeah.
The Pyrenees?
Isn't that the bit between your arsehole and your balls?
Yeah, that's the Biffin. It's Biffin's Bridge.
I thought it was the Perineum or the Gooch, yeah.
No, don't they call it the Biffin's Bridge because that's the bridge that connects Hull and something else? No, like the ship bit in the fishing village.
Fucking hell.
That's
horrible, Martin. Oh, Christ.
It's only because I got a mate that lives near Grimsby and he told me. Yeah, I blame him. Jim, that's your fault.
San Sebastian, I think that you can have lots and lots of fun in, but I feel like everyone would say San Sebastian because it's like the foodie city. Barcelona, I was there last weekend or the weekend before, I cannot remember. The day before I saw you.
Before you saw me. When you big suitcases.
I had my big suitcase. But yeah, Barcelona is so cheap to go to. Yes, the Catalonians or the Catalan people despise tourists, but that's not to say they haven't done things with food that should attract tourists. I think that the tapas culture there is probably a bit different to how it would be in maybe Seville or Malaga, in as far as they don't hate you as much there. So you will have a waiter or a waitress that might be a bit ruder to you, but the food's very, very fucking good.
Yeah.
And there's a number of... I did a video about it, but there's a place called Bar del Pla, which does the best patatas bravas
I'm going to find the place
that I can ever remember having.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's as Catalonian because I think the Catalonians don't like doing Spanish food. They like doing Catalan food. Yeah. But then there's the creme catalan, which is their version of the creme caramel, which is made by, instead of doing it with a blowtorch, they do it with this huge, like, fucking what do you brand a cow with?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yes,
Yeah.
it's like
Hot
a hot circle.
So
where-
up your street.
Yeah, I've
you need
seen
to
those.
add
They
that
look so cool.
Yeah, and they pop it on, and that does the creme.
Wow.
But just like just prawns and we had.
Is it good value?
Yeah,
Because
I think
Spain,
it's-
I remember we drove once, like all the way from Brighton down to Spain
Nice.
on holiday, and it was just so lovely seeing the terrain change and everything.
Yeah.
But what was overwhelming was literally going over the Pyrenees and suddenly going, oh my God, everything's half the price
Yeah,
it was.
yeah,
in
yeah.
France.
I went for 4 main meals in Barcelona in one night. We went to this. I can't remember the name of the place, but there was 3 bars that were all connected, all the same place.
Bar schmuck,
Don't know.
fat schmuck.
Thin schmuck.
Because there
You
is
dirty schmuck.
there's three there. I know there's like 3 or 4 that are like under that, but I don't know if it's
Yeah,
the same.
no, there was one that was in like a bar, sort of like in a market,
Right.
and they had a restaurant version. Then they had a tiny little tapasy bar. But yeah, we had one of the ones I always remember was chocolate brioche with foie gras, and it was unbelievable. But yeah, we went to 4 places in one night and just was like, can we have some? But
Yeah.
Bar Cañate, I think it's called, is like the famous one.
Yeah.
And it was.
Is that CANETE?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you just go in there, and it's almost a bit like Wes Anderson. All the waiters have got like, but we sat at the counter with these absolute douchebags next to us, like from South Africa, drinking fine wine and talking really loudly, and we just sort of like went into our little bubble.
That is not what you want a restaurant experience.
No, but yeah, amazing.
So it's
amazing
all
food.
northern Spain. Anywhere else?
Yeah,
Anywhere else like
I
it?
think Portugal's.
Yeah.
I actually think that the Algarve for food is criminally underrated because I think that people associate it with fat old men that play golf, which is fair enough because there's a lot of them there. But actually, the food in the Algarve is very, very, very nice. And there's a place called Ojal, and you can get a boat to a place called Isla de Calatra, which I think means the island of culture, which is funny. People live there. It's got like 2,000 people that live there. But there's a restaurant there. Can't remember what it's called. But you go and you have monkfish rice, and you have like the oysters there are meant to be like the freshest in the world because there's so many oysters there that the water's so clean because they obviously
The filters of the
they
sea.
filter the sea exactly. But yeah, the food and like the things that they do with monkfish and rice, and also like peri prawns are really, really good. And I think that people don't look at it as like a place to go to eat.
Yeah.
And I think that it's the same with Portugal. Like people have started obviously going to Lisbon massively, and people like Porto, but France, Spain, Italy, those are like
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
heavy
say Italy,
hitters
that's
of
what- yeah.
of places to go and eat. And I think that actually there's a lot more to Portuguese cuisine than
Just go eat in weird places.
yeah.
Don't go to the
Also,
mainstream places.
Faro is fucking cheap to get to. To go to fly from London to Faro, it's like from a lot of places you can literally, if you book the flight at the right time, you can probably do it for 30 quid.
Wow. We've got a wine. Frank's wine is the vegetarian option in a restaurant is often smaller and the same price as a huge bit of steak. That's not true.
Yeah, shut up, mate.
That's bollocks.
That's rubbish.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Frank.
Shut up, Frank.
I've
You're
got
a liar.
some of my best
You're not
friends are
getting
vegetarian. All right, I've got vegetarian friends, but I'm going to say it right now. That's bullshit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
they're yeah, that's rubbish. The steak
Yeah,
is
so
horrifically
it's-
overpriced.
Wait,
and
Oh, you agree with him?
You agree with that though? No vegetarian main course is the same price as a fuck off bit of steak.
Not the same price as steak, but it's not like, say if you go for a roast, it's always about the same price, and like, you get a big slab of like beetroot mush.
Sadie, are you Frank?
Yeah.
Is this you?
Franks and beans.
Are we talking to Frank?
Oh, is it?
Oh, was it Matt?
Oh.
Right, let's see what Chris says.
well.
Sorry.
Have you been to Lagom in Hackney Church?
Eat Lagom.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Do you know Elliot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know him. Sorry, no. But I know the place.
His vegetarian option that he does for a Sunday roast always fucking bangs, and it might. Yeah, they did. It was like he did like
cauliflower.
roasted squash with like different toppings on it, like a mojo verde and shit. It was. It's great. I actually liked it a bit the same. I'm not going to say more than, but yeah, it's good.
Well, I would say because my wife doesn't eat meat, and whenever we go out, she'll have the vegetarian option. I'll always go, well, I've got to have the meat option because I'm out.
Yeah.
And then I've always got food envy. Hers
Yeah,
is
you gotta
always
try
more
a bit.
interesting. It's always better. It's always
Yeah.
nicer and more more than half the time. I would
Yeah.
say it's
Just go
more
to a
effort's
place
gone
that
into it.
cares about you, Frank.
Yeah.
You know, they shouldn't be charging you the same price as a big
I
main.
just saw it. I shouldn't have looked.
What?
Sorry.
But it's
So
the
we got
answer-
to that. We got excited because we saw it.
We've got to wrap up soon.
and-
We
and we-
skip to the answer of the question of the week.
You've won.
It's the Red Lion.
It is the Red Lion. You've won.
Kiss my face.
Okay. The other top ones are the Crown, Royal Oak, White Heart, and
You
the
said-
Swan. I
you
did
said
say
the Crown.
Didn't say the
You
Crown,
said the
Red
White
Crowns.
Heart.
Oh, well, there we go. I
You
think
did
we
say the
all-
White Hearts.
And you're the guest, so you've won.
In
Which
a way-
makes sense.
I think in
Oh,
a
my
way we're all
goodness.
winners.
Yeah, food wins.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well done.
Wins.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we saw a bit of a rushed ending there, but we're getting kicked out for some charity or something. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Goodness, I
Come
know.
on, we've got time to do one more wine, haven't we?
Did we do? No, we did.
Yeah,
oh,
you've
no, we
got to
did
give us
do
a
one.
wine.
Have you got a wine?
You've got a wine.
Come on,
Let's
you
write
must
it
have
on
a
the
wine.
board.
Have a wine.
Have a wine.
Have a think about a wine. What about something to do with
What do I hate?
restaurants?
What
What
do
about
I
something
hate?
to do with ingredients or shopping? or
What about plant bois?
What?
what's plant bois?
What's
What's that?
I think vegans should be abolished. Italian trolls. I mean, a lot of these wines are.
Calories on the menu is a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, it's
but I
awful.
think that's a government thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
in some
still-
places,
still whine
still
about it.
stupid.
Pies topped with potato.
That is.
Oh, yeah.
that is a huge wine, but I think that's too general. I'm trying to think of a specific gripe that I have. I feel like this needs to be a restaurant gripe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, I think one of my gripes with a restaurant is when the fucking menu is on a chalkboard. And I genuinely think that it is ironic because I find it indicates quality. Most restaurants that have their menu written up on a chalk... Bouchon Racine is a perfect example of this. One of the best restaurants I've ever eaten at. And it's fucking annoying because they've got like 35 things written on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
And yes, they bring it to you, but at the same time, it's a bit like... No offense, but your handwriting's shit.
like a doctor.
Do you know what I mean? You should be getting a guy in for this.
Like
Exactly. I actually do think that chalkboards for menus are
well, I think that
pretty
has to go
annoying.
on.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
it's a
you can have
chalkboard.
a specials board as a chalkboard because it's
Absolutely.
like one or two things.
Yeah,
But if
three
it's the
things.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely going on.
Full chalkboard menus. Grow up.
It just has to because
Also, like, you know, my dad's not got very good eyesight. Like, he doesn't like that. You know, he can't see stuff. So.
yes. Well, if we're
pissing
going
me
down,
off, it's pissing
we're
my
going-
dad off.
We're going down that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. 52 now. It's any external noise
Yeah.
when trying to have a conversation in a crowded place.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
thi-
can't
oh
hear
no,
them.
that's also a fucker as well.
Oh, it's
My
awful.
old man's got fucking. He started wearing hearing aids.
Yeah.
But they help him like tune into conversations. But if he's not wearing them, and you go to a restaurant, no point having a conversation with him because he will not hear a thing. And so
Quite nice
actually,
to switch off every now and then.
quieten down in restaurants
Yeah.
and give the old people
Silence.
not earplugs,
Silence
earpods.
in the
Yeah,
restaurant.
exactly. Silent restaurants, please.
That would be quite nice, actually, a silent restaurant, like the restaurant in the dark. Restaurant in
Don's Le Noir.
silence.
Yeah.
Don's Le Noir.
You could have
Is that actually
silence
still a
and
thing?
in the dark.
It's in Farringdon. I don't know if it's still a thing. I remember just nicking loads of wine when I went because people were there and you can't see anything. I was
Oh,
just
you
like
liked
hand
having
on
other
top,
people's
stuck your finger
ones.
in, and then had a taste and was like, "That's definitely wine." I'll take
Yeah, it always reminds me of About Time, you know, the film.
Yes, yeah.
because they go and eat in the dark. Have you seen it?
No, I don't watch much.
It's
movie.
classic Curtis. It's so good. It's one of my
It's so
favourites. I
Curtis.
love it. Like it's just the best.
It doesn't scan, though.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, you know, you kind of go with that couldn't work because then he would. I mean, there's a
It's
lot
a
of that.
bit. Yeah, look, okay, we can get into the semantics of it.
We've got to wrap this up.
But we'll have to do it in the pub.
Let's do another one. So, hey, look, it's the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does wrap up another episode of Stuffed. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed having Willie on board, and I hope you tune in for another one.
Yeah, and make sure, most importantly, make rude. And I'm trying to say, make sure you subscribe and rate and tell your friends and comment and send us your wines and your questions and your stories.
Succinct attention.
And go to YouTube because this is. Where are we now? Where are we right now? We're on YouTube. Premiere,
There's
isn't it?
no greater algorithm than word of mouth.
It's absolutely true. This is why I always say, don't I?
Yeah.
Talk to your friends IRL. Yeah.
Men's mental health.
Oh, in real life.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Willie. Thank you for coming. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.